Hi, I'm Bucky Gamgee from LARPcraft, and welcome to From the Scrolls. On today's episode, we'll be talking about weapons. First thing you need to know about weapons is that there's very many kinds of weapons you can choose from. First one I'm going to be talking about is weapons that you've created and what you need to do to create a weapon. Right here, I've got a weapon that I recently created. It's my axe for my new character, since they don't make the axe anymore I want, and I'm not going to pay twice as much as I want. I mean, twice as much as it would cost to buy it. So I just made this one. Made it out of PVC pipe as the core, which is normally used, or you can use fiberglass rods, a couple of them, because one's too thin. Then I use you can use either, for the main foam here, I used pipe insulator, or you can use pool noodles. Those are really cheap and work pretty great. And here I used a foam cam pad from Walmart, the blue cam pads. They work great for making details and stuff like blades like this and such, but they're pretty cheap too. They're about $6, and you get, it's pretty long and a lot of good foam for $6. And then you use duct tape, which I have on here, to keep it all together and sturdy. And for the handle, there's a lot of other things you can use. I use electrical tape. You can use duct tape. You can wind some string around here, or rope or something, or you can put foam on it then tie it down, because I've seen some people do that, but you can do whatever you really want for that. So everything needs to be 1/2 inch of foam around. If it's the striking surface, if it's not a striking surface, 1/2 inch. If it's a striking surface, it has to be 2 inches. But this, my big blade here, all foam, is no core. My small blade here is all foam and no core again. All foam. 2 inches on top, from top of the core to the top of the foam, it has to be 2 inches. My core here ends at the top of here of my two blades where they intersect, and then this top part right here is all 2 inches. Same with the bottom. Always need a pommel. Your pommel again will also be 2 inches off the blade. So I don't know. I mean, off the core. So the bottom of the core goes somewhere in here. I can't really. It's like right here. So this is about 2 inches, and it's needed just in case you hit someone, or you're coming back and you hit someone, so it doesn't hurt. And yeah, you could easily get a lot of detail with foam, and they're pretty cheap. For $20, you can make about 5 or 6 short swords, which you start out with, and you'll have loner weapons. But this sword here, this axe here itself, is a long sword. It's 39 inches altogether from the bottom to the tip of the blade right here is 39 inches. So my new character can use it, because he's a druid, and druids can only use up to long swords, so I made this axe. And let's see. I think that's it. But this axe costed about $20, because I had to buy, the core was about $2. The electrical tape was $1. Wait, I had the electrical tape, so I didn't have to pay for that. The duct tape, the brown duct tape, was like $4. The dark gray duct tape was another $3. And then under the gray duct tape, the dark gray, I had a regular duct tape that I bought from Walmart, which is another like $3. Never buy from Walmart. Walmart has crappy duct tape, and it doesn't stick. So never buy duct tape from Walmart. Then there was the core, the foam for the blades. That was $6. And then the core, the pipe insulator, that was about $4 maybe, $3. So yeah, it's pretty cheap cheaper than buying latex and foam injected, but it doesn't look as nice. If I wanted to, I could take foam dip grip or buy special latex paint, and I could paint over this whole thing, and it would be latex, and it would look pretty similar to what you buy offline, but it wouldn't be the same, but it still would be really good to do. So that's for creating your own weapons. Now I'm going to go over the weapons that you can use in game, what classes can use them, and what are their specs and such. So we're going to start with a short sword. A short sword is up to 32 inches in length from the end of the pommel to the tip of the sword, which anyone can use, and it costs 1 XP to get. You don't have to buy the achievement, but we make it 1 XP just so you can learn how to transfer XP and get achievements. But you don't need the achievement in order to use the sword, because you automatically use it right away. Everyone starts out with it. Then you got longsword. Everyone can use longsword. That's up to 39 inches, and that costs 100 XP. Pretty cheap, and everyone can use it, and it adds a little bit more reach than the short sword has. Then we get the bastard with more reach, which is up to 49 inches. Everyone can use it except for a druid, a mage, and a necromancer. Again, that's up to 45 inches, and that's 250 XP. That's a pretty long range with a one-handed sword. I consider it a 1.5 handed sword, because most bastard hilts you'll have enough room for one hand, and then you'll have just almost enough for a half a hand. So not all, but most bastard swords do, so I consider it a 1.5 sword. But then you got your two-handed sword. Only barbarians, fighters, rangers, and paladins. Only those 4 classes can use two-handed. It is anything up to 58 inches. So anything 46 up to 58 have to have 2 hands on. You have to have 2 hands on in order to cleave. In order to cleave with the two-handed sword, you have to draw your sword back, break 90, and then swing like you're really giving it force, and then yelling out cleave to do cleaving damage to a shield. If you don't hit the shield and you hit someone, you take normal damage. If you block with your weapon, block a cleave, you get knocked back a few inches. And then you got staffs / pole arms. Staffs and pole arms are 2 different things. Staffs are like a walking stick or like a wizard staff or something. But a pole arm is like a spear or a halberd or stuff like that. That's gonna be, they're both the same achievement, but your class will specifically say if it could be used, a pole arm or staff. I think it's gonna say which one you can use, or you can use both. Not positive. But that one everyone can use except for rangers and rogues, and it's 4,000 XP. I forgot to mention that two-handed sword is 3,000 XP, and staffs and polearms are 4,000. Staffs and polearms can cleave. Has to have either a blade on it to do cleaving damage, or has to look like it's made of metal. Otherwise, you can't cleave, because cleaving with a wooden staff, you'd probably break your staff if you were cleaving with it. So, and that wouldn't be realistic. So we try to make this as most realistic as possible. And last but not least, you got bows. Bows, only people can use are rangers, rogues, druids, and barbarians. You must be 16 or older to use. I'm sorry, people who are under 16, you're just gonna have to wait because it's more legal reasons, because they do consider a bow as a weapon, so we made that just for legal reasons. The bow / crossbow can only be up to 35 pound pole, a pole of 35 pounds or lower, nothing higher, because you're going to be shooting at close range, and we don't want people to get hurt, and we don't want the the shafts of the arrows to go through the heads. Yeah, you have to be level 6, and you have to pay 250 XP. This is a legal arrow. This is made by Live Action Products that we make. This is a lot of padded foam, so you're not going to get hurt when you get hit. Nice sturdy core, so it's not going to break. And it's modular, so it can fit any shaft. Let's see if I can get it off. Okay, so it can fit any shaft that's threaded, so if it's threaded at the top, it can fit that shaft. So it's threaded on the inside, so it can go on any shaft. So mine needs some repairs, but yeah, so it can fit my shaft because it's threaded on the top. So we recommend you get the threaded arrow shafts. A good place to look for them in Wisconsin is at Fleet Farm. Mine costed $3.25, I think. So a great price for really good arrow shafts. And then these arrows you can buy off Live Action Products. They're about $6, I think. And they come in all different colors, and there's some with tassels on it, and there might be some tie-dyed ones. And there's one specific to certain abilities for arrows, like there's poison arrows, there's the red ones for like armor piercing, which I have, so I have to get red arrows. And then another thing is, it's a nice size, so when you shoot it and you do get hit in the face, it won't puncture you in the eye. It's just big enough so it won't go in your eye. Don't buy any of the arrows made by other companies. Don't buy the little black ones with like the little pouch of yellow foam on the tip. Too small, will hit you in the eye and it will hurt. Don't buy the little black, brown, bald head ones, because those ones again are too small and will hit you in the eye and it will hurt. These right now do not fly as far as those arrows, but are much safer than those arrows. You can make your own bows, as I have here. Stay. No. Here I have a bow that I have made. A guy taught me it. Ayrton taught me how to make this bow. It's about a 28-pound bow. It's made with, the string is a nylon bootstrap, which you can buy at a hardware store. That's where I got mine, at Menards. A PVC pipe that's, I think it's 1/2 inch. It's cut to 4 inches, 4 feet long, so it's a nice length. Inside of the PVC pipe is a fiberglass rod that is also 4 inches, 4 feet long. It's also called a driveway marker. Is that what we buy it in at Menards? They're called driveway markers. Same thing, they're made of fiberglass, so we also call them fiberglass rods. And then I put fake suede on it to get rid of the white and make it look more like a bow. And then I was getting irritated with trying to figure out where to hold my hand, and so I can put the arrow on and have it nice evenly balanced. So I wrapped on twine and for the handle, and this is like right at the middle where the arrow goes, and then I just hot glued it down, and now I got a sweet handle. And the first event I used this at, I used it at a Last Hope event, Last Hope Old World, and I had to put sports tape, athletic tape around the ends, so the core, the fiberglass rod wouldn't come out. So I suggest if you do make a bow like this, cover up the ends somehow, nice and tight, so your core won't come out. This bow cost me, let's see, probably $15 to $20 to make. It's not the best, but it does work. I will be investing in a real bow, a real manufactured bow. It's just that I didn't have a lot of money and I wanted to use a bow, so I went ahead and made one, because the average bow, without buying a cheap junior bow, which are made of plastic, is about $70 to $100 for a good bow that will last you. Because definitely do not want to buy plastic, because unless you're going to cover it up, it's not realistic and it's cheap, depending on who made it. For bows, we do not allow compound bows or crossbows. Crossbows are more expensive, but you can use them. There's no one in our system that uses them, but there is one person in Last Hope that does have a crossbow. I may in the future get a crossbow, because crossbows they could shoot farther, I think. You can load them faster, and they're easier to aim. So I'm probably going to get one in the future. So I think that's it for weapons. So I'm Bucky Gamgee, and I'll see you on the battlefield.